Okay, so I think I can bring you guys an update now on the Camaro now that we got quite a bit of stuff done to it. It still needs a bit more to go. Start on the outside here. You can see you finally got new tires on it. The tires are on here in good tread, but they were dry rotted away, so we got new tires on it. Then we added alignment done too. Alignment was way out. The skirts that go on the side here, they're off right now. They're fiberglass, and they were cracked at the corners where they, you know, right here where they kind of came up, and in the front where they came up here, they were cracked. So I did some fiberglass repair. They're primed now, and got to get those painted up. Of course, the tail lights. And let's take a look inside here. Alright, here it is with the new carpet in it. You can see the difference between the carpet on the console here and this. I don't know if the carpet looked like, I thought it was black carpet, but obviously, you know, it doesn't look too black on there. I don't know if that's that faded or what, but I went with black carpet on there. And I'll put a link below for the carpet that I used. And I found my kick panels, so I got to get my kick panels in, the hush panels under the dash in, and I've got to still do, you know, clean the rest of the dash here. But if you look at the trim in here, all this interior trim was all redone using the SEM products, a dye for that. Sun visors. So I don't know how well you can see this here, but these sun visors were all redone. These were so bad that I got some dust on them. They're so bad that when you touched them, they would just disintegrate. All this dust would rain down. Everything inside of them was really bad. And of course, you know, we got the passenger one here, and the dash. I've got the dash all prepped, and you know, all the old vinyl taken off the top, and most of the foam except for what goes on the edge and on the sides, I left that on because of the shape of it. But right now I'm at the point where I've got it all wrapped in Landau foam, and I'm just waiting on my vinyl to come in. And I bought a 4-way stretch vinyl. I went with a regular vinyl at first before I even found out about the 4-way stretch, because, you know, I'm vinyl illiterate and I had a hard time getting it on there. It looked like crap, so I peeled that all off, wrapped some new Landau foam on it, and I've got some 4-way stretch vinyl coming. Just gotta get, you know, new speakers mounted in here. If you look in the back, you see all the sail panels are done. The trim back here is all done, all painted up, and I'm ordering the carpet strips that go, you know, on the trim. They recess into almost in the middle part of it, and they also go down here on the kick panels. There's carpet for that too. So about the only thing I have left to do in here on the inside is these door panels. They got to come off. I got to work on the door locks and the window motors. I still need to get right here. I got to get this A-pillar trim because the clips are busted off of this, and somebody just ran screws into it. And then of course the headliner's got to get done yet. You can see the headliner's pretty much a mess, but we'll get that taken care of here very soon. So I mean, this thing is getting really close to done. I'm not sure there's really a whole lot. Oh yeah, the other thing that was fixed was the tachometer. We got the tachometer's fixed. You've got the correct sending unit for the coolant temperature gauge. And so that's nice to have those features back here. The only thing I did have to do is I did have to go back to a switch for the fan, which the switch just connects grounds, because I got to get a different switch that goes into the block for the fan, and I also have to wire it up to battery, or to ignition voltage instead of battery voltage. Alright, looking under the hood here, you see I did get the AC delete blower motor box, and I've got it just about ready to go, except I had to order a different blower motor for it, and pretty hard to find. Even though, considering they were practically the identical unit throughout the 80s on almost every GM vehicle, it was pretty hard to find a good one anyways. I mean, there's a lot of them cheapo ones, but I do got one of those coming. This I was really not happy with at all. This is fiberglass. It was warped. The whole inside, this whole section right here is like caved in, so I got to use a thicker foam on there, and you can see, I mean, you can bend it out, but it doesn't stay out, so I'm not sure what's up with that. I got my fuel system finished up with the inline filter, you know, and a metal line that goes all the way up to the carburetor. I did a quick spider web with powder coat on my air cleaner cover. Even though the air cleaner cover was all dented up, I did it anyways, just temporarily. But you can see right there what's going on is it's hitting the hood somewhere over here. Right there, it's hitting the hood, so I'm gonna have to just trim that hood a little bit. But other than that, there's really not much change under here. I do not have my battery fastened down yet because I'm going to end up, I'm going to pull the battery out of here, and I'm going to put the battery tray along with the coolant overflow, which I don't have a coolant overflow right now, from a 4th gen in here. And then I've still got to get my windshield washer fluid bottle in there, and I've got to fix, of course these are busted here, so I've got to get new squirters for the windshield, which, you know, that's the little stuff. We're down to little stuff now, so it's getting there. Yeah, that's an update, and you know, hopefully we'll have this sucker finished up soon and ready to go. Alright, so my buddy let me use some shop space here in his shop to get some stuff done, which was a huge help because I can get the car and jack stands, and you see some of the stuff that had to be done on here. The steering was completely shot on it. I mean, every tie rod end was like this. So we were able to, you know, strip everything out of the front end, you know, struts, spindles, the entire steering system, everything came out. And then back, I was able to easily replace the shocks. The shocks are the only thing that were replaced at this point in the back. Everything else looked pretty good. And in the front you see new brakes, calipers, rotor, wheel bearings, strut, brake line, all that was replaced. New ball joint. Of course, I had to use the infamous spring compressor, which, you know, those things make everybody in the shop nervous when someone's using them. And here we got to the interior. We're able to pull the carpet out, check out the floor pans, which actually look pretty good. I was surprised. I expected to find a little bit of rust in here, and even up under that's the covering on the firewall, the padding that goes over the firewall. Even up underneath there, everything looked nice and clean. A little bit of sand, but I mean, there was no rust whatsoever. The trunk area, the trunk area wasn't rusted, but you'll see in the next picture there was some like corrosion. It's almost like it's a galvanized trunk pan, and the galvanizing was starting to corrode a little bit, and it was popping the paint off, so that had to be taken care of. And basically I just sanded all that down to bare metal and some seam sealer around that. And the seam sealer here was all replaced because it was all chunking out, so there's new seam sealer in there, and that's primed at this point. And then this ends up getting painted as well. And you can see what the trunk looks like after it's repainted, you know, and also where the spare tire goes. So all that turned out really good, and that was ready for carpet now. And here we are, you know, putting carpet in. The new carpet made a world of difference in this car. You know, the other carpet was just so faded and dirty. And while the seats were out, decided to, you know, remove the seat tracks from here. They were hard to operate anyways. So, and they did have a little bit of surface rust on them, as you can see. So, you know, was able to get them sandblasted and cleaned up, and you know, get everything working freely. And at that point, you know, once I got everything sprayed out good, we were able to put a coat of primer. Here you can see there's a coat of self-etching primer on it, and then I just sprayed them with some satin black enamel, and lubed everything up, and that worked really good. And here, you know, I'm taking the shifter knob off just in case anybody wants to figure out how to do it. You got to grab that little plastic button on the top, and you just got to yank that sucker off, because that thing is on there good. It's hard to believe out of those two metal tabs how tight they'll hold it on there. But after you get that off, if you look down inside there, you see there's a little snap ring in there. So you just grab it with your snap ring pliers, you know, open up and you pull it straight up. And then once that snap ring's off, you can take that knob, you know, it'll pull straight up and come right off. That's the only thing that's holding that on there. And then for the interior panels, those are all washed in hot soapy water, and I bought a product for cleaning them and for dyeing them from SCM, which is an excellent product, and we were able to get those all done. I'll show you those when we do a walk around. And the dash, of course, needs some serious help. This dash was in terrible shape in this car, and I had to start by stripping off everything off the top. So I got all the vinyl off and was taking a look at the foam to see what was going on with that, and decided that the foam is so bad that the foam has to go as well. So got all the foam stripped off, got the rust cleaned off, used that touch and foam in a spray can to fill in the deeper recesses there. And I left the foam on the front and on the sides because they were already the shape that I needed, and I just filled in everywhere with foam pieces here to just build it back up to where I needed it. And then I was able to sand those, and you can see here it's wrapped in this foam is called Landau foam. I used an 1/8" Landau foam to wrap everything. It's ready for vinyl. I'm just waiting for my vinyl to come in. I don't know where it's at, and I got to make speaker grills, of course, too.